When you look at your bank account and you don't like what you see, you don't like the number that you see in your bank account, what is your initial visceral body mind reaction? And I want you to go a little bit deeper. What is the story behind that reaction? What story you start telling yourself? What you are attaching to those numbers? And let's go a little deeper. What is the story about your vocation that you're telling yourself? In this episode, I'm going to break down specifically the vocation money story. And vocation money story either helps you to break through to the next level or keeps you at the same plateau, at the same financial plateau where you are at. In this episode, we're not going to talk about just generic money beliefs, money wounds, money healing. We're going to tackle headfirst what you believe subconsciously about what you do for a living, what you do in your business, and how that story is keeping you stuck. And spoiler alert, you have to keep rewriting the story every time you elevate, every time you break another number, every time you add a zero to your annual income. Because this is really important. This is either you are making neural connection with your vocation and with your money story, and that story either helps you to break up to the next level and elevate yourself, elevate your identity, and elevate your business, or vice versa, it keeps you getting stuck at a certain level. It has everything to do with a healed money story. And when your money story is not serving you well, and that money story, by the way, runs way beyond strategy, way before the business, way before you get started. So when that story runs your business and you're not able to break to the next level, this is what's happening. The mental spiral, the stress, the unrest, and you think, well, if I work more, well, if I serve more premium clients, well, if I sell more palatable, sellable things that is selling well right now, maybe this is the thing. Maybe if I employ the marketing strategies that actually approaches masses, maybe I can overcome that plateau where I'm at right now. What you're doing on subconscious level is actually you are overworking unhealed money story. And at each level of elevation in our business, it doesn't matter if you're at 6 figures, if you're at 7 figures, if you're at 9 figures, we have to rewrite our money story. We have to rewrite what we are telling ourselves about our vocation. This is everything. Listen, I'm healing my money story right now. I'm rewriting my money story as we speak. I'm not unique. I'm not healed and woke. I'm just as human as you are. This is my money story about my vocation, about what you do. When I went in college, I had a debate. What do I want to do? And I'm a little unique in a way because before college, I was working as a Russian Sign Language interpreter. I'm fluent in American Sign Language and in Russian Sign Language. I was for many years a part of deaf community. I would go to deaf church in Moscow, and my brother is deaf. And I have this vision. I want to help people. I want to help people to heal. I want to help people to grow at the deeper level. And because of that, I will go to clinical psychology. This is the money story that kept me broke in my vocation. I made a pledge to myself, and I pledged that I will do what I do as a clinical psychologist, as a special education expert, as a sign language interpreter, until I cannot pay my bills anymore. I will go into that vocation even though helping people doesn't pay the bills. I will work so hard, so many hours to maintain my lifestyle, and I will only switch to another career, to another path when I can't pay my bills anymore. Many years later, I moved to Florida. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking for a holistic strategic recalibration in your business, if you are at the spot where you would like to realign your business with your call, with your alignment, understand what you need to change right now to align your business with your desires, with your vision, and identify next steps that you need to take right now, I invite you to 90-minute VIP recalibration session when we combine the spiritual psychology and proving tactics and strategies that specifically would work and align with you and with your business model. And it's one-on-one support and is a 90-minute session plus 30-day of integration of the strategy of the direction that we discuss in our session through DM conversations or Voxer or email, whatever format is convenient for you, so you can take aligned action in your business, so you can build, grow, and scale your business in alignment and start building a business that finally feels like you and support your life and your desires. The link is in the description for this episode. If you have questions, if you would like to learn more about the offer in details, you can always send me a DM. Click the link below. You will get the link to my calendar where you can schedule a session with me immediately. Again, it's 90-minute session plus 30-day of integration support through DM conversation, Voxer, or email. Back to the episode. And I couldn't find a job within my vocation. I was doing perfectly fine as a youth counselor, as a case manager in social services and in mental health services in Chicago. But when I relocated to Florida, I could not find a job. And the jobs that that I was able to find literally could not pay the bills. So I made a switch into tech. And fast forward until now, I'm also experiencing different money blocks in my business. And I was praying and asking God to show me what is my money block. This is not fear of being seen. This is not a fear of failure. This is not a fear of success. This is the money story. This is Eugene before he went to college is telling me helping people doesn't pay the bills. Helping people doesn't pay the bills. Although in my business, I proved many times that it is not true. People paid me high ticket prices from $2,500 to $5,000 to actually work with them on different capacities. I knew that. And people pay me all the way up to $10,000 to work with me. So clearly that money story is not correct, but the blockages that I am experiencing or I am seeing in my business, this is directly related to my money story, to the narrative that I was telling yourself before college, when I was going to college. And it manifested in my life. Now I have a question for you. What money story are you telling yourself right now about your vocation? Maybe you think, oh, I'm a therapist. Therapy doesn't pay the bill. Maybe you are thinking, oh, I'm a coach and there's a certain cap for coaching, or like I can't make money as a life coach. It doesn't mean that you're not making money. People who make multiple 6 figures and 7 figures and 9 figures, like when they get stuck, they usually stuck at this early stage story that they were telling themselves. So my question for you, what money story you are telling yourself right now? If it feels comfortable, share in the comments. Let me know what money story you are keep running and running and running in your mind. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, just drop one in the comments. So I see you. I see you. Now, how to rewrite that money story? How to rewrite that money story? First of all, it starts from healing, right? You heal your money story. You heal your relationship with money. And when you heal your relationship with money, you pick a strategy that you are in love with. Because listen, when we have unhealed money story about our vocation, we have tendency to pick a strategy that we are not in love with as our identity, as our nervous system, how our brain is desired. So our business feels disconnected. We feel disconnected from our business, and then either we overwork or we freeze and we don't do anything, and we need to take a sabbatical, we need to take another thing, and we need to take another break so we can regulate ourselves. But the money story and the healed money story starts with your alignment, because I deeply believe that the Creator has meant so much abundance for you and for your life. And listen, I believe Creator has different destinies, have different purposes for different people. If Creator did not have a meaning for your life to receive the abundance, to receive wealth, you wouldn't see this video at all. Because people who are not on this path, they don't receive this message. They are not looking for this message. They're looking for a different message for them. They have a different message. They have a different path. They have a different soul correction for you. And actually healing your money story, healing your abundance story about your occupation and about your vocation can be a part of your cocoon. This is the shadow work, right? In Jungian psychology, we call it, or in Jungian analysis, we call it shadow work. What is the shadow? What is behind the surface that you are not acknowledging yourself? What is your cocoon? What is your soul correction? And for a lot of entrepreneurs, right, especially for a lot of entrepreneurs who are making really good money, the soul correction, it's actually healing the relationship with money, because you can have broke mindset and make a lot of money. So, and when you realign that identity, right, you can do this work in therapy. You can do this work with a coach. And this is why I'm connecting spiritual psychology, standard academic approaches as well, because I am as spiritual and I'm as strategic and scientific and as humanly possible. And I apply those strategies and I apply those approaches when I work with my clients. And by the way, spiritual psychology is a branch in psychology that actually combines spirituality and psychology, and a lot of names that you know out there actually contributed to spiritual psychology. But when you heal through those modalities, through spiritual psychology, through working on your tikkun, on your soul correction, on your shadow, when you do the shadow work, right? When you face that vocation story, when you face that unhealed money story, then you can choose a strategy. And now the strategy can be as robust as humanly possible, but also maybe you don't need that robust strategy. Maybe you need a different strategy for your healed money story. Because listen, when you realize that you have nothing to prove, that you are here to create abundance, that you're here to create difference, This is the level. I created a marketer archetypes assessment, and it's completely free. It is in my description box here, because I believe that our brains wire differently. And throughout my work with entrepreneurs and working as a therapist, different people achieve success differently. It's still in beta. I'm still connecting data. So if you could take the assessment, send me an DM, tell me what you think. I would like to make this test as accurate as possible, and entrepreneurs can take the step to their next elevation. So this is the work. Creating the healed money story. Creating the healed money story, not just about the money. Listen, I have no problem with money. I love money. I love money. Give me more. And I made a bunch of money. I switched to tech after that money story about my vocation came to fruition. I went into tech and I made a bunch of money. This is not the money problem. This is the vocation money story. So, and until I could rewrite my story about my vocation, this is when I saw the breakthrough. And listen, I'll be honest with you, it's an ongoing process. I'm not going to pretend that I'm all woke and healed and I finished the work and I have nothing to work on. No, I'm still healing. I'm still working. I'm still processing, and sometimes it's hard. I'm still working on my soul correction and on my shadow. Listen, if you've been looking for a holistic business strategist, holistic coach that can actually combine your identity, spiritual psychology, with a scientific approach, not just woo, not just good feel, not just vibes, but actually evidence-based spiritual psychology approaches, and the strategy that fits your brain, fits your human code, how you design, the strategy that you can actually fall in love with. Because if you hate marketing, you're not going to market well. Let's just be honest. I created a 90-minute recalibration session when I address exactly that. I address your unique make and code that you create, how you create it, how your nervous system was created. And I invite you to do the recalibration on your vocation story. Like either you're at 6 figures, either you're at 7 figures, I invite you to question your vocation story. Because if you're at the plateau, that can be your vocation story. Okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching if you're on YouTube. And do me a solid. Share this episode with your fellow entrepreneurs, because we have so many hidden vocation stories that we're telling ourselves, and it keeps ourselves and our businesses stuck. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.